Good afternoon. How are you all doing? Hey, got new internet. Hopefully, fingers crossed, should be okay now. Got a brand new router, so hopefully we will be stable again. But we will see. Here's the internet. Anything can happen. How are we all doing? So, couldn't do a stream this morning, basically, because obviously what happened with the Virgin internet man coming round literally as the stream started. Where's my pen gone? There we are. Sorry, wait me 1 sec. Where's the pen gone? There it is, down there. So we had this DAX breakout this morning. I didn't take it because I was expecting it to be shut because I thought it was a bank holiday in Germany, but it wasn't. It was just a bank. It was just a holiday. The banks decided to actually work today. But this, I don't know what caused this. I think the market thought it was a bank holiday as well and thought they'd take advantage of the euro, and they did. But it's coming all the way back down again from 150 ADR. So there was a really good mean reversion opportunity on this up there. I am actually short on it. Excuse me. I think we're going to sneeze. On my Feudal Crest evaluation. But I'm on that close to blowing it. So I've got a few positions on there to try and get some losses back today because I've lost 2.3%. But anyway, so that's coming down. So that's really good. So just a quick recap of yesterday. Morning, everybody. Also, afternoon, everybody, by the way, instead of morning. Sorry, I'm not with it today. It's been one of those days. Yeah, I won't go through everybody individually, but hello, everybody. We're going to quickly run through the results from yesterday. I did whiz through them this morning, but obviously it was a bit fast this morning. So this is let's start off with the ADRs. So ADR reversal strategy banked 1.1% yesterday, sitting in 0.99 or 1% of drawdown at the moment with 0.5% bank today, 6.87 on the month. ADR reversal is doing really well this month. Hardly any drawdown on these this month. We've had a bit, but not masses, but it hasn't banked much either. Very tight month at the minute. H1 M5 mean reversion, done some drawdown control today, 0.22 on that, 1.36 banked yesterday, 0.42 in DD, so no drawdown on that at the minute. H4 M5, bit more drawdown on this, on the 4 hour. 0.5% drawdown control done yesterday, done 0.73 today, so it's up to 12%, nearly 13% on the month still, but there's a few trades on the H4. The disadvantage of the H4 is it's so much slower. You get sometimes you get embedded RSI extensions which basically move up to another leg, so they just take a lot longer to play out sometimes, but banking really nicely. The only thing that's got any drawdown on it, actually there's two things now because the yen, US dollar's just rallied, but US dollar yen in 1% and euro CAD in 1.26, so nothing really dramatic at the minute to worry about. Hedging set file, 1.64% banked yesterday, 22% on the month, 9% drawdown at the moment, 0.5% drawdown control done today. Euro US dollar is in DD, Euro Swiss in DD. It's only 1.7, so it's not massive at the moment, but that is the main contributor to the drawdown at the moment. US dollar's just rallied. Euro still can't get any traction. So, yeah, but all doing well still. So good results there. News-wise, we've had the unemployment figures come out for the US dollar. They came out as positive, very positive. So we were 264, forecasting 250, got 240. So we were forecasted to go down 10K. We actually went down 20K. So all good. US dollars had a bit of a rally off the back of that, but I'm not 100% sure that we're going to get a sustained rally from the US. So I'm watching this like a hawk at the moment. Some good ADR reversal opportunities, which we'll look at in a minute, which are starting to play out. Because we've hit terminal rate on the US dollar, there's a likelihood the unemployment figures won't really play as much of a part in strength and weakness moving forward. So we'll see what happens. But so far, a little push there. We've got Macklem speaking later. So we might get some Canadian dollar movement, but we'll see. So that's the other news you've got to be aware of. That's at 4 o'clock, so in an hour and a half after the open. So just bear that in mind. Canadian dollar may get manipulated a bit later on. We've got a few ADR hits. Oh no, haven't. We've only got one ADR hit. We've got a couple of weeklies to look at as well. We've already really looked at them. And there's quite a few RSI extensions. US dollar yen getting even more extended. So we'll have a look at those in a minute. Dow. Now the Dow today is going to be very tricky. So as you can see, we've had a very big, strong movement off of the back of the unemployment figures. So when you have a very large, strong move happening before the open, quite often the open turns into a little bit of a wiki mess, mainly because the market's put a lot of its orders through in the Globex session before the news, when the news comes out. So there's not a lot of volume left. So we tend to get a little bit of a push and pull. So just be a little careful. Nice 10 pattern reversal on the Dow. Look. So this does look short, but I'd be a little careful of the opening range. Probably the 5-minute pre-market today, maybe the 15-minute, excuse me, which is here. It's all this one. It's this candle at the minute. This big one here. So that is your 15-minute high and low pre-market open. Obviously, these two are inside bars on that. So that is your range at the moment. So that is probably the best thing to take as an opening range break, and hope that you get a big, fast initial move on the cash balance. And then if it does go whipsaw after that, it doesn't really matter. You've made your money. So that's probably the best play today. There's not really any way of obviously telling whether we're going to get a rally or not. We are well within ADR, as you can see. ADR is still a long way away. So this little low there, this is yesterday's low and previous day's low down here, which is just over 100 ADR. And then to the upside, there's not really a lot of resistance. We've got this area here before ADR. That's an old monthly level. And we've got yesterday's high, which we basically slammed straight into and came down off the news. So a retest of yesterday's high, potentially, but I think it's tested that once. If it tests it again, it's probably going to go through. So we'll see where we go, but we'll watch when the market opens and see what resistance and support we've got coming up. 30 seconds to go. So that's your pre-market 15. So watch that area. That will get drawn in a second by the EA. Hello, everybody. I haven't said hello to anybody, but gold, we'll have a look at gold in a bit. Salties in Chirac, losing left and right, all the wrong moves, no laptop. Okay. Have a look at gold in a bit. Afternoon, James. There's your pre-market 15. Okay, so the break's gone to the upside. We have got all these propulsion gap targets to the upside, so a retest, if they're going to rally down, is certainly on the cards, but we'll see. Big, strong, immediate push, but pulled straight back down. But watch where this goes. A little bit volatile. This is the problem. You get quite a lot of volatility as orders are being placed, but there's not really a lot of volume. So you just get this whippy, nasty price action. Let's watch the NASDAQ as well. See where the NASDAQ goes. So NASDAQ's gone to the upside. Very similar price action. There's your 15-minute pre-market. It's pretty much the same today, both pushing to the upside. That high there, obviously the NASDAQ didn't have such a big reaction as the Dow off of the news. Just propulsion gap filling today, look. So watch that level there, sellers. Dow's rejected that high break. Yeah, whippy. Look. So if you took the pre-market 15 long, you stopped out on the long, flip short. Short's putting back inside the range as well. Kind of what I feared today. Bit of a whipsaw session at the open. No volume left. This is the problem. Good feel to this pre-market action. It's so often we see this whipsaw after that because there's just no money left. They've done it. They've literally put the volume through before the market comes to an open, so you don't get that usual initial hit. They just basically got the load already, so to speak. Okay. So 2.5 minutes left. See where this one goes. While we're waiting for that, I'll keep an eye on that on the other platform. The DAX is coming down very nicely off the back of that rally this morning. So there's your reversal alert. That's the only reversal alert we had all day on the DAX. And since the reversal alert, it's come down like a steam train. So really nice entry. I got on that this morning. Spot on there at 150 ADR. I've got one position at 162.11. There, basically. Exactly where that line is. Look, that's where my entry is this morning. Absolute beauty. Target is there. I'm looking for an A-shaped recovery, return to origin play. So that'd be a very nice big profit if that comes in. I'm going to need it because I lost 2.28% already today. Not been a good day today. Got squeezed to death. I had to scale out of a load of stuff. ORB pre-market is just killing. So it's a double loss today. Loss on the long, loss on the short. This is one candle, so you wouldn't have had a chance for a re-entry on it. Just a double-ended stop run today. So if you are using the ORB EA and you're using the re-entry facility on it, if this candle closes back inside this range, we've got 1 minute to go, it will replace those orders so you can take the second break. Obviously, the 5-minute opening range break is there, so it's not much different to pre-market. So not very good today. Go DAX. 2.5 grand in open profit, and I can't close it. 5.5 grand down today. It's not good. Right. So let's just wait for this candle to close, and then we'll do the ADRs and RSI extensions. See what opportunities we've got. US dollar yen is one of the main things that's been rallying. So we'll have a look at that because US dollar has been on an absolute mission today. Sending somebody a link. Right, so there's your 5-minute opening range. So absolute dead stone doji. No movement whatsoever on that. So be careful today. Might be a day to give the Dow a miss. And the NASDAQ. Mind you, the NASDAQ's gone. So your pre-market, look at that. Lovely. Difference in the instruments, look. So your pre-market 15 on the NASDAQ gave you a 1.5 hour straight in, straight out. Job done. Thank you very much. Dow, double-ended stop run. -2. DD. Right. So we are looking like we're going to go to the low. The DAX is absolutely collapsing. So if the DAX is coming down this hard, I would say there's possible sector selling going on. So these may all well be shorts today on the US indices as well, because the DAX is really coming down hard. So it's trying to undo this whole move. And we've got momentum, obviously, to the downside on the indices in the US as well. So certainly looks a little bit more short than long today. Somebody just sent me a message in Telegram about another funding company they've just discovered. Not sure if it's fake or real. I don't know how to check. Basically, if you're not sure if it's fake or real, go onto the trader funding part of the website and use one of these big companies that have been established for years with multi-million-pound backers. Forget these guys. If you're not sure, you don't need to use anybody else. everybody keeps trying to find all these other prop firms. There's a massive list of them here. All brilliant. No reason not to use them. Just use those. Right. Fundamentals. Just want to have a quick look at the fundamentals because we had the Australian unemployment change out this morning and the unemployment rate at 3.7 for the Oz. I didn't get a chance to look at the fundamentals this morning because obviously we got cut short by the Virgin Media man. So unemployment now 3.7 on the Australian dollar, gone up 0.2. They are not the first to do that. The Japanese had a creep as well. We've had a creep on the pound. We are stable on the CAD and the Swiss, and also the New Zealand dollar. So as you can see, unemployment figures are starting to go the wrong way. That is a byproduct of interest rate increases. The fact that we've just had a downtick in the unemployment claims in the US would indicate that the unemployment rate is still continuing to drop. They are already on a drop. So as this comes down, it takes the pressure off. And it means that if inflation keeps coming down and unemployment keeps coming down, it does give them another opportunity to do one more hike. Because the reason they will stop themselves from doing that is if this is starting to spiral and if that is starting to rise. Because these are coming down, it gives them that option to really get on top of this super fast and get this down. So we've just had news this morning that the Fed swaps upgrade June rate hike odds to about 40%. So there are people out there now in the know saying figures are looking good. There is a possibility that we might have another rate hike. They have said they don't want to do it anymore. And it's really going to be dependent on what happens with this debt ceiling, with the interest rate payment default that might be coming. So we will see what happens, but there is a possibility of potentially another hike coming from the Fed. So we will see. But we'll wait for more information on that. It's going to be data-led, obviously. Fed slogan, data at this time do not support delaying rate increases. Again, possible positive move. So it's difficult to read, but it could mean a little bit more strength in the US dollar than we were expecting. So we'll see. We obviously had that move today. Anyway, so looking at the US dollar CAD, obviously you can see we've had a big rally. US dollar Swiss. Wow, that's just suddenly come down hard in the last, I was going to say, I thought that had gone up. Data delay. So yeah, that's rallying as well. And US dollar yen's had a massive push. It's because I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, not the hourly. So we had a big push on that as well. So there is more movement upside on US dollar coming through. Afternoon, Virginia, a bit late. Never mind. Andrew, afternoon. So there's your 5-minute opening range break to the upside on the Dow. So we have broken long there. Right, so ADRs today. We've only got the one so far to look at, which is the US dollar yen, which is quite handily what I'm on. So I've got an H1 RSI extension entry short there from the 5-minute reversal alert. That's been pushing up. So after we got into that entry yesterday, we came up, we did ADR. So ADR on this is 108. Yesterday's move was 140. So far today, well, 108, obviously, because we've hit ADR. So there's an opportunity for a short play here. If you look at this move, we've just tapped outside of this monthly high and last week's high. So we are now out of the highs, but this spike was put in on the news. So the potential for a pullback on this, if this is going to be a continuation, is pretty much now. So we got low, high, higher low, higher high, looking for a higher low somewhere above this area here. And all these propulsion gap targets down here potentially could get hit in the next week. So good area to start getting in for shorts on this. The fact that we've got the unemployment figures coming out as positive is obviously bullish for the US dollar. But because we are not expecting more interest rates at this time, not really that bullish. So good looking spot. We've had a very big, strong 2-day rally now. So this is definitely due a pullback. So good looking opportunity there. Drop down M5, ADR reversal to the downside. That's going to happen any second now. So as soon as we get some more bears coming in, we're going to push back down. Just need to pay attention to this area here. We might get bounced out this propulsion gap. There's also this support here. But if you're shorting this, you're only looking for roughly a third to a half an ADR. Half an ADR is 54. So you'd be looking to come, that's 46 pips there. So that, something like that, down into there would be a nice little scalp entry on that one. So that's your only ADR. Weekly range hits, we've got the CAD yen and the New Zealand dollar yen. We looked at these yesterday. So New Zealand dollar yen extension to the upside. We've just gone sideways today. So your entry was yesterday on this one. I got an entry there as well. That was the H1 M5 entry. We've just pushed up slightly and accumulating at the moment. So there's a good short opportunity there, back down into these gaps. And we've got the CAD yen. So this one, obviously, big, strong push on the CAD yen. We've had, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, day 5 up, solid. So really good, strong move off the Canadian dollar. If you look at this on the daily chart, we are marching forward very, very, very quick. So typically 3 to 5 days before you get a pullback. Normally it's 3 before you get some kind of pullback. There's 5 there. Definitely on the cards. Not quite extended. Sorry, that's a daily. So we are extended on the 4 hour. So nice extension on the 4 hour. Just filled that propulsion gap up there. Hourly, we are extended from yesterday. Oh, we got extended yesterday. I didn't get an entry. Oh, excuse me, I've got a really itchy nose. Why did I not get an entry on that? Quite sure why I didn't get a short on that. Could have had. Don't know. That should have been an entry. It might have been. So the extension was there. Extension happened there. Might have had a reversal alert just before we got the RSI extension. That one. So I might have. That's probably why we missed that. So yeah, CAD yen, nice extended, ready for a drop. Monthly, we've got Euro CAD. We've looked at this one as well. So Euro CAD extended on the monthly, all the way down here. So this Canadian dollar basically, obviously rallying hard at the moment. The euro just doesn't seem to be able to get any traction. So all these euro pairs at the moment, not able to recover from the interest rate increase there. So they're all stuck. Not really any traction to the downside for the euro, but not able to get its rally back either. So it's beating the yen, obviously, because everything's beating the yen. But yeah, we're stuck on the euro. So got euro US dollar on at the moment. No, sorry, I haven't. I've got euro US dollar over there. But I haven't got one on here. So this is nice, just about to get a nice extension, just about to get that triggering today. So so that is your ADRs. So that's everything. So there's just that US dollar yen at the moment. Seeing if anything else is getting close. US dollar wise. Not a lot else. Aussie New Zealand might get one shortly. I know it's pulled back. So no, nothing much else there. So that's all of your ADRs. This is a nightmare today. Look, just chop at the moment. So there's your open. We basically spent 15 minutes just trying to go long. It's a dud today. NASDAQ, however, is very, very happy to go long. Look at that for a pre-market opening range break. Boom. Parabolic. Where's outro? He likes these. He takes the 5 minutes. So the 5 minute is there. something like that. 7 to 1 again. That's the second 7 to 1 we've had in 2 days. Huge profits off of those. Just can't tell which instrument it's going to be and which session. Right, RSIs. So there's quite a few of these to look at. We'll start in reverse order because it's the US dollar yen again. Afternoon, Steve, Andres, Amar. What's your thoughts on GJ? Waiting to do some aggressive drawdown on it. I'm short on it, but I don't know why you would do aggressive drawdown control on it unless you're stuck in it from further back somewhere. Maybe stuck in it from here. I got out of those there. Well, the EA got out of those there. I didn't. Yeah, I mean, if you need to do aggressive drawdown control on this, the entry was yesterday, obviously, at the double top. So this area obviously is where we'd be looking for shorts. So yeah, anytime now, basically, just wait for some strength back to the downside. So drop down and wait for a reversal alert, really. You haven't had one. So apart from the one that was there yesterday, this one here, no entry there. Yeah, I'm still waiting for one, really. So yeah, I'm getting short. You're double topping yesterday's high right now. And obviously last week's high is there. So see what happens when we get up to there. Potential drop from there. I'm just looking at positions on pound yen. I've got 2 pound yens on at the moment. I've got one that is basically here, and I've got another one from there. So I've got 2 positions on at the moment on the Fidelcrest account. I've only got one on this one because this one didn't get above the 75 level. So still pushing up at the minute. So looking for a drop from there, basically. Right, US dollar yen. So US dollar yen is extended, as we know, on the hourly. We just looked at that. It's extended on ADR. It's still pushing at the moment. So we've got some yen weakness coming through. That's still coming down. The 4-hour RSI extension is also in play on this one. So you can see on the 4-hour, big, strong sort of move all the way up there. So we had this big push, flag, big push, maybe a little flag in there, but not really. Didn't really stop. It just kind of went sideways for 4 hours, and then we've rallied again. So massive extension on this one. Really good opportunity to get in short up here. So if you look at where we are right now at this level, we don't get up here that often. We looked at this one yesterday, didn't we, when we were up here? Sorry. We looked at this one yesterday when we were up there. We've pushed a little bit further now. So should be getting some kind of pullback on this, even if, I mean, that's yen intervention. So even if it's just a small pullback, we should be getting something if it is going to continue to rally. I can't see any reason why we should get so much strength in the US, even on this unemployment figures, because it's really going to depend on what happens with interest rates. What they've said today is fairly bullish. Little bit more interest in a hike, but that is still 60% chance it isn't going to hike. So the odds are still that the US dollar shouldn't really be weakening over the next month, but it is certainly having a rally at the moment. So very, very nice extension there on the 4-hour. Again, if you want to get into your first entry on this on the 4-hour, drop down M15 and wait for the next reversal alert on that one, which is going to be just under that low there. M5, you've probably had one already. Yeah, you would have had one here on M5. So that would have been the entry on M5. So you would have already taken it if you were taking 5 minute. It's basically pretty much the same entry off of ADR. So US dollar yen, huge extension, ready to come back down again. New Zealand dollar yen, we've looked at this one as well. This is a 4-hour RSI extension. We're just sideways at the moment. So we're just coming out, M pattern reversal, forming there for a pullback down. Similar sort of thing, just looking for some kind of profit take move to exit. Got one on that on the hourly. Pound CAD, big extension to the downside. So that's 4-hour RSI extension to the downside. Canadian dollar, obviously, we've had the weakness in the Canadian dollar. It's starting to pick up a little bit. Just want to see what oil's up to. Aussie dollar CAD's just hit ADR. So Canadian dollar looking like that's rallying alongside the US at the moment. Nicely extended on the 4-hour as well. So let's have a quick look at what oil's up to while we're talking about CAD. Coming down again. So we had the breakout, the highs yesterday. That put in an ADR yesterday, oil. We did 318 off of a 24. So 32 pips off of a 24 ADR. So we had a nice big rally on that yesterday. That's the next target, obviously, there, which is the weekly high from last week, which is also last month's low. So that will be your next target to the upside, looking for a push through that level, coming up into this area up here. So at the moment, though, we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, day 9, sideways. Haven't managed to make any progress from that low. So put in a new high, fine. Pulled back, just going sideways. So if this does rally, we're going to see some more strength coming through on that Canadian dollar. So when you're looking at the pound CAD, obviously that's going to get held down by Canadian dollar strength. And you can see where we are at the moment. Obviously, we're pulling back down into the 24.72 area, which is where we tend to get nice bounces if we're going to continue in a trend to the upside, which we obviously don't know. Pound should strengthen up. There's no reason why we shouldn't get more rate increases coming on the pound. So that should be bullish. Bailey didn't give any clues to that yesterday, unfortunately. So we don't really know, but there is talk of another rate increase before the end of summer, maybe 2. DAX is coming down very hard, by the way, if you're on the DAX. So yeah, I like it as a long. However, if we're going to get that big, strong push coming through on oil, which is really looks like it's overdue, and the US dollar is going to strengthen a little bit, the Canadian dollar will go with it, and this will hold this in place. So when you've got something that's bullish fighting something that's bullish, you tend to get a lot of this. Yeah, so it does look good, but be prepared for RSI to just work its way back to the 50 with you kind of just doing that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens, but there's definitely a bullish advantage on the pound against the CAD at the moment. If you look at the bias scorecard, pound CAD is neutral, +2, range bound. Hot at the moment is long on this. They're long pound, short CAD. Retail at the moment are all long in it. So it's being held back a little bit because all the liquidity is down to the low side. But when that flips and retail go the opposite way, we'll be popping up to a +4, which makes it bullish. So it is more bullish than bearish, obviously, but we'll see. So like that as a long, nicely extended. Euro US dollar. So this is obviously coming down very hard today. We've just had an ADR on that one as well. Look. Why is that not lit? There we go. Weird. So Euro US dollar ADR hit. So that's nicely extended on the 4-hour and the hourly. So if we look at the hourly first, big, strong push. All propulsion gaps filled, monthly low exhausted. So we are right out that monthly low. Since we had, where are we, last Thursday, the interest rate change where we got that big propulsion gap put in, this thing's just not made any progress. US dollar has started to rally a little bit against it as it started to drop, and it's just today is obviously the worst because the US dollar is rallying hard and obviously the euro is just not making any progress. So that's where we are at a very nice support area. RSI extension on the hourly, decent entry there, and 4-hour, obviously it looks just as good on the 4-hour because we're down at that level. We've got this level here as a potential backup resistance at 125 ADR as well. We've got this level, which is kind of a triple top area here that we tapped into multiple times, broke through it, retested it, came back through, tested it again, tested it again, tested it again. Very strong level. That's 150, 175. So where we are here, if it does drop further, you've got another potential bounce point, which is roughly half an ADR away. So it does look like a good opportunity for a long where we are. Just wait for some signs of strength. If you don't get them, obviously it's not going to be an entry, but M5, M15, it's an RSI extension on the hourly, RSI extension on the 4 hourly, ADR extension, support resistance bounce, another support resistance bounce underneath it. Looks great technically. But obviously we need that euro strength to come through, and we're lacking at the minute. So it is expected. We are expecting rate increases on that and the pound. Just at the moment, the market's just not interested. So very nice extensions, very well set up. Euro yen, big extension to the upside. All the yens, if we flick through all the yens, you can see every single yen, not going parabolic, but all the yens basically are weak at the moment. Everything is rallying against the yen. So there's opportunities all over the place with the yen. The more it weakens, the more they intervene and push it back down again. So looking at euro yen, we came out of an RSI extension on the hourly here, just about, didn't get high enough for me. Straight off last week's high, basically. And that's what we've tapped into. And again, we're just starting to reject it now. So on the 4 hour, you got the extension at that weekly high. So we're either going to bounce back down and put in a new higher low and then rally from there, or we're going to slam through it. And if we slam through it, we'll be coming up into this area here. So if it's going to go, you're looking at somewhere between 2.5 ADR potentially, but it's a big, strong push with no pullback whatsoever. So definitely due. And again, another one in an uptrend, expecting more strength. You can see the euro's been very, very weak, obviously. You can tell how weak this yen's been, because if the euro's been weak and been trounced by everything, but it's managed to beat the yen, it just shows you how weak that yen is at the minute. It will change. They will pump that yen, and you'll suddenly get an ADR hit to the downside, maybe even a couple of days of solid movement down. Yen is notorious for doing the old bang. Big drop, very fast. So looks good. Only just extended, not massively, but nice resistance level as well. So that's good for a short. Euro CAD, nicely extended to the downside. Again, Canadian dollar, this is exactly the same as Euro US dollar, basically. So we're extended on the 4 hour. If you look at the Euro CAD and the Euro US, very, very similar. We're just pulling back down at the moment. Underneath the 72 moving average. ADR and Euro US dollar again. For some reason that's triggering when I switch over there. I've noticed a problem with the ADR dash. It was, yeah, it's look. Euro yen's not lit up for some reason. Bit of a data issue again. I think there's something with Robo Forex. I've not experienced this before, but there's something with Robo Forex which is weird going on. I don't know. Twilight Zone stuff. Euro yen. So nice extension to the upside. We covered that one. Euro CAD extension to the downside. So 4 hour drop down, M15, M5. That's the home sales just gone in for the US dollar. 4.28. Missed it. 4.28 off of 4.3. So as expected. Not really big home sales anyway. So yeah, drop down. Your reversal's just starting to trigger now on this one. A bit far away on M15. M5, I think you've just had one, yeah. M5, you just had the reversal of that there. So potentially look for a retest and rally on that one. Swiss yen and CAD yen kind of covered those, haven't we? 4 hour RSI extensions. So that is just starting to play out now. You've missed the entry. The entry was there. Oh, DAX. DAX is coming down really hard. Right. It's not updating. Where's my connection? It's not at 16113. It's at 16100. Frozen. Weird. DAX has stopped. Never mind. Moving on. So yeah, all these yens, CAD yen, Swiss yen, all extended at the moment. That's just come down very, very nicely, the Swiss yen and the CAD yen. There we go, DAX has just woken up. There we go. We're down here. So that's coming down very nice. Look at that extension on the opening range breakout on the DAX today. Literally, from the pre-market 15, it didn't stop. You pushed up, you had one doji, pushed up, sideways, pushed up, pushed up, pushed up, pushed up, pushed up. That's the first pullback you had. So it was literally 200-point move straight up. If you had a trailing stop on that, on the opening range breakout, even if it was based off of just the pre-market opening range, you wouldn't have got stopped out until there. Unbelievable today. The one that I didn't bother to take this morning because I thought the DAX was shut. Thanks, Forex Factory Calendar. Yeah, CAD yen coming down at the moment, just starting to roll over. Swiss yen has rolled over. The monthly. So that's a monthly level on the Swiss. Not a very good one. That monthly high there, that's the last day of the month. But it just pushed out above there. So you've got that weekly level there. So this area here, obviously, is the previous high. So if we are going to get a reaction and go into a range, you'll be looking to target down there somewhere. If it's just going to pull back and rally, obviously, get in once it's broken out the highs. CAD yen, nicely extended to the upside, 4-hour RSI extension. Loads of upside targets on the 4-hour, but normally pay attention to the hourlies. It's all downside at the minute. So looks good. 1, 2, 3, 4, day 5 up. Definitely due some kind of pullback. That's extended on both of those. Aussie dollar CAD is the other extension we've got on the hourly. So this one's come straight out the lows. So this range broke. So we've had this range. This is an entire month, basically. That's all of April, basically. It was in a range. So that's the beginning of April. We're now mid-May. So it's been 6 weeks sideways, this thing. It's just managed to break out to the downside on this Canadian dollar strength. So if we're not going to get this holding, this strength on the CAD and the US, this is going to turn into a false breakout. And as soon as you break back above that level, straight back up into that high. For those of you that are familiar with Wyckoff strategy, this is a classic Wyckoff spring trap. Pops back up, will push back up to that high, put it in a symmetrical triangle or an accumulation, and then bang, break to the upside on Canadian weakness. So bear in mind, we've got Macklem speaking in 1 hour. There is a possibility that he weakens the CAD. If that's going to happen, this has got every opportunity to pull straight back up into this area. If they do see it pull back up into there, we'll probably get a load of buyers jump on board. Aussie isn't particularly strong at the moment, but it's a big 4-hour RSI extension. So we're down below the 20 level. Yeah, so the 20 level bounces generally tend to be very nice, big bounces. So I said this before, if you want to trade a prop firm with no time limit, just take 80-20 bounces on the 4-hour. Very, very rarely you won't get them working. You won't get very many entries, but you'll have a very, very high strike rate and very low drawdown. So when you get down to these levels, not often you don't get those, not just pullbacks. They tend to be swing lows. So you can see the swing low there, swing low there, swing low there. Yeah, so they tend to be real pivot points when you get extended that hard and that fast on the 4-hour. It's got to push really hard to get itself beyond a level. It's a squeeze. The banks are really squeezing the short side or the long side. When they give up, there's nowhere to go but the other way. They just pile out of them. So good looking opportunity on that one, especially things like this, US dollar yen. However, the yen, saying that, on a normal FX pair, that's the case. On the yens can get squeezed to death because they just don't change their interest rates. That's why the yen intervenes all the time, because they don't have a normal economy like everybody else. It's a completely different setup there. So it's just not the same thing. So looking at this US dollar yen, you look back as we did with the US dollar yen, you can see how it gets way extended beyond that 80 level. Yeah, multiple times. Yeah, and it's not always the case when you get there. Yeah, that was an extension. We rallied. What's ADR on this? 108. We rallied another 7 ADR. Straight up parabolic. Yeah, off the back of that RSI extension above 80. So, but that is, look, where the Bank of Japan then intervened. Yeah, this is all Bank of Japan intervention. There's one back here somewhere as well. Oh, no, that was the first one, wasn't it? Yeah. So they don't let it, if it does that, they don't let it go. It's sorted. So, but anyway, so there's all your RSI extensions. Lots of opportunities across the board there. Lots of really, really extended pairs. So good chances to get into stuff today. DAX, I think I might just close some of this out. Just want to wait for this 5-minute candle on the DAX to close. There's 2 minutes left on it. But if we get a bullish candle on this, I might close this one out. Anybody got anything else they want to have a look at? Have you ever traded lower time frames? What lower than what? M5 is my time frame for entries. I don't trade M1, no. But all analysis is on H4 and H. Yeah, so basically, if you don't know, go and watch the bootcamp. I'm a mean reversion trader using multi-time frame analysis. So analysis of the moves and technical analysis is done on H1 and H4. And then entries are done on M5 or M15, depending on your preference. So I'm just watching that high there. See if we put in a higher high on that. Hourly, it looks like we're coming to a little bit of a reversal. Look. It's 50% of the propulsion move as well, which is quite often where we get a bounce before we come and complete it. But what I don't want to do is let this all vanish. Is DAX mean reverting? Well, it is, yeah, at the moment. It has. So the mean is halfway. Already done it. Potentially. Is whether or not we're going to get an A-shaped recovery on this move. This move, it's a mystery, this, today. If you go back and look at previous times we've had that on all instruments, not just indexes, the amount of A-shaped recoveries you find is vast. Quite often on the back of news as well. I'm just going to close some DAX out. Doing a little drawdown control on Aussie CAD as well. I've got 2 positions on Aussie CAD. It's looking heavy. Right, sorry about that. Adjusting stuff. Having to manually trade. This is the problem. Fetal crest make you manually trade. It's very time consuming and laborious. Euro CAD. We not covered that? Literally just done EuroCAD, Andrew. For our RSI extension. Can you have a look at Nikki? Nope. Don't have it. Don't have it. Don't trade it. Don't have it. Your broker shows us US 100. Mine says US 100. US Tech 100. US 100. Is it the same? Yeah. So mine's US Tech. Basically, it's the same thing. It's the NASDAQ. That's a lovely opening range breakout today as well. Look at that. Beautiful. Off we go. And the Dow. Absolutely nowhere. Stuck. Annoying. Yeah, so basically different brokers call different things. So the DE40 could be called the DE30. It could also just be called the DAX. Some call it the DAXI. The S&P is the US 500. Some call it the S&P 500. Some call it SPX, SPY. Some call it SPY. That's the futures version. There's lots of different names for stuff, but yeah, you have to if you right click on specification, it tells. Oh, it did tell you. I thought it did. No, it doesn't. I thought it said in there what the actual name of the index was. It doesn't. No. Well. But always check with your broker. Basically, if you're wondering, it'll always be on their website. Yeah, no. Wall Street 100. Yeah, could be Wall Street 100. There's all sorts of names for it because these are CFDs. Basically, these aren't real markets. These are contract for difference markets from your broker. So it's your broker basically giving you this information. So they can call it whatever the hell they like. If you're trading on the futures market, it is the futures market. The NASDAQ is the NQ on the futures. But the CFD, the contract for difference for NQ, is whatever your broker shows you. It's never going to be the same price as the futures market. It's their own representation of it, which is why some brokers have pre-market data on the DAX, where you'll find it trading from midnight all the way through to the open. Others, like mine, only start data from 7 o'clock, which is when the electronic exchange opens in Frankfurt. The actual trading floor opens at 8, but the electronic exchange starts at 7. But you very rarely get any movement on the electronic exchange. It's not, just doesn't work that way. It's a bit like the Globex in the NASDAQ. So all of this here is the electronic exchange called the Globex. However, no one really trades it unless there is something going on, like a big news event or a stock market or a stock earnings report or something like that. Then you'll get some movement in Globex. But that's when the actual floor opens. And that's why we trade the opening range breakout strategy at exactly 2:30 UK, because that is when the bell rings in New York. This is all actual trading happening on the futures market, but it's just algorithmic, or it's retail. You know, it makes up tiny portion of movement, so you don't get the movement. You know, look at the Globex, and then bang, the open. Get gaps on one and not the other. Yeah, so one of those will show you the. So there's two ways of plotting it as well. Some brokers do not plot Globex. Futures market, you won't get this on the futures market. You can, but most futures platforms will start the thing. my God, the volume profile. They'll start the volume profile at 9:30 New York. So you won't, or they will have like my futures platform. Basically, it puts two volume profiles on. One volume profile there, so you'd see like something like that, and then another volume profile here, so you'll see something like that. You have two volume profiles, one for Globex, one for the actual open, because this is where the volume is. All the money goes through there, the vast majority of it anyway. Just to let you all know, I've got a couple of people that have contacted me recently who are foreign speakers. I can't get to it from here, can I? I haven't got a link to the blog anywhere, have I? No, I didn't put one anywhere. Basically, somebody's got in touch because they are a foreign speaker. A couple of people have actually. So you're probably not foreign if you're in here because you're listening to me. But what I'm doing is I am transcribing all of my videos, including the bootcamp, into text format. So every post, and I'm going to release them all as individual posts. So for example, this one here, the automatic support resistance propulsion indicator. So what they're all going to look like, every single video is going to have its own page on the website. So that's the video on the support resistance propulsion strategies and indicator. And the entire me waffling in the video is all transcribed into text, which is also put on the page. So for those that want foreign language and are always complaining, quite rightly so, that I haven't recorded anything in foreign language, you can now just translate this. And also have closed captioned everything. So on YouTube, actually, let's do the... So if you want to watch the bootcamp now, oh my God. Hey, there's that prop firm that I was looking at a minute ago at the beginning of the stream. Following me around. So now got subtitles on as well. So you can watch the bootcamp in silence and just read it. Not that I can't do that. I can't read that and concentrate on that at the same time. Just my brain can't do it. But so I'm just in the process of moving everything through into text format as well. So if you wanted to, you could also turn that into PDFs and all sorts of stuff. So just to let you know, it's going to take a while. There's a lot of videos, a lot of content. So all in process. So if nobody's got anything else to look at, I will leave it there today. Your DOW trying to go long again. NASDAQ, that. Oh yeah, we're on it already. NASDAQ, look. Rocket ship today. Really weird market today. Really weird market. DAX, absolutely no reason, 150 ADR. NASDAQ, absolute screamer as well. Can't really see any reason. So just looking at these actually, before I go, obviously you see the NASDAQ is on a very, very nice upward move at the moment. So there is potential as this is happening now that we might be seeing the start of, or rather we might have confirmation that we are going back into a bull market, which I've been kind of waiting for the S&P to confirm it. And looking at the S&P, which is why I've just suddenly realized today, after the NASDAQ just shot off like that, and the DAX, the S&P is the one I've been watching, waiting for that bull market to restart. It can't. So we're coughing and spluttering on the S&P, not being able to break. But today, it is going obviously very similarly to the NASDAQ. It will do because they both move in sync together. So if we get this high broken here, I think this could be the catalyst to really get the market rallying on the stocks. So if you are someone that trades longer term price movement, obviously the S&P is the instrument that you use to do that a lot of the time, long only strategies. This could be where it's going to start to rally. The S&P mimics the opposite of the US dollar a lot of the time. We're at terminal rate on the US dollar, potentially, meaning there is nowhere else for the US dollar to go but down or sideways, which would mean we get bullish stock market. So it is kind of adding up that we might be entering back into a bull market again. So if that's the case, then we should be looking really for shorts on the US dollar. Gold, obviously, we should be expecting that to start to rally as well. Gold's coming down at the moment because we've got a big strong move going on the US today. But there's all the propulsion gaps done. So that's now all clear to the downside. Nothing to do but go up. Weakness in the US. So it's all adding up to potentially us coming out of, well, not we went into recession, but coming out of this payback for COVID, which we've been stuck in for the last sort of year, 14, 16 months-ish. So onward and upward, maybe, but we'll see. Obviously, if the US decides to default, that could change everything. The US will start a domino effect throughout the rest of the world if it does. So we'll see what happens. GPT's transcribing. Yeah, so I'm using a company called... what are they called? I mean, Cockatoo, they're called. Cockatoo, yeah, just realised. Parrot. Repeating. So yeah, I'm using a company called Cockatoo. So basically, I just upload all my videos to Cockatoo. It goes through them and spits out a text file using OpenAI. So OpenAI analyzes the video, puts everything into paragraphs, and dumps it. So yeah, it's 30 quid a month. So I'm aiming to get all my videos done in a month, and then I can just go turn it off. Yeah, all being done by AI. Gone are the days when I would have paid somebody to do this. Well, I am still paying someone to do it. I'm just paying 30 quid instead of paying someone to do them all. I don't know how many videos I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 35. 35 videos to do. So, you know, imagine what it costs to pay someone to transcribe a 35-minute video. A 35 hour plus videos. It's all done for 30 quid. I'll beat it. Afternoon traders from Pontevedra, Spain. Hola. Right. Dow's pushing to the upside. We've got some more strength coming through on this US by the looks of things. Gold is still coming down. US dollar still looks like it's wanting to rally. Euro, US dollar, ADR. I know that. Stop telling me. So yeah, so potentially got some more strength coming through on that. So right, I'm gonna leave it there. So if you're looking for aggressive drawdown control positions on anything, somebody said they were looking on the pound yen earlier. Yeah, I mean, just watch for support resistance areas. If you're in anything and you're stuck, this is the best place. All these highs, they're always the best place to do it from, because you've got that extension already that we're due a pullback on, and then you've got limit orders which trigger in your favor. So just watch these levels if you need some. But this US dollar strength, I'm not sure is going to continue. So I think we'll probably get some reversions on all of these. So just be aware of that. There's lots of opportunities today. Watch out for that yen pound quarter news later for Fidelcrest. Oh, there's yen pound quarter news later, is there, on Fidelcrest? I'll have a look. Got to have a look. Is there really news this afternoon? Date today. There's no more news today. No, it's the 17th today. No, it's the 18th today, yeah. So we had unemployment for the Aussie and the budget release. So today, Feudal Crest. Is that right? That's not right, is it? Right, 18th of May today, yeah? I'm not going mad, am I? Unemployment for the Australian dollar and then the budget for the New Zealand dollar this morning, right? What's the biggest news event today that's moved the market? US dollar unemployment claims. So they said you're not allowed to trade through that, but don't worry about this one, the big one that moves the largest currency in the world. Don't worry about that one, the one that's done all the ADR hits today. That's fine. Unbelievable. Shows the 19th for you. The 18th. Economic calendar. 18th of May. Oh, you might be in a different time zone, maybe. The Bank of Canada Consumer Price Index core year on year. That was yesterday. CPI for the pound was CPI year on year for the pound. That's not even yesterday. That's, well, it was there, but it wasn't news, was it? Right under the 18th. Yeah, it got the 19th, which is gross GDP quarter on quarter for the yen. But that's 250 tomorrow morning. All right, yeah, okay, so that's 19th, yeah. You're in a different time zone, obviously, aren't you? So, yeah, so watch out for that GDP quarter on quarter for the yen. Is it even yellow news? I bet it isn't. Probably is, actually. There you go. GDP for the yen. It might move it. Highly unlikely, but I don't know how they come up with these things, but got some China stuff to watch out for on the on Monday. Bank of China interest rate decision. I suppose if you, I mean, they don't even let you trade at the yuan, do they? So what's the point? Ridiculous. Anyway, we're not far away from the non-defense capital goods orders excluding aircraft. That is the one I am really looking forward to. Next Friday. Non-defense capital goods orders excluding aircraft, including aircraft carriers and tanks. God forbid you should trade through that. It's going to be a biggie. Probably the biggest thing on the calendar this year. Anyway, good old Feudal Crest. I'm in a mood with them anyway because I'm on the verge of blowing my evaluation. So I'm not yet. I'm about $5,000 away, which sounds like a lot, but when you're trading a £250,000 account, it's Nat's whisker. I've got a feeling it's going to pop today. I need everything to turn around now. Literally, Euro US dollar up, Euro New Zealand up, pound yen, everything yen, push hard down. DAX collapse, then I'll be fine. What are my JPY targets? I don't know. Depends on the instrument. Everything I do is half an ADR. So when I get out half an ADR, I'm done. So I'm literally looking, always looking for half an ADR's worth of profit. Just get in, get out with a profit, stick it over there, be done with it. But if you want to hold it, something like the pound yen, down to there, there, or there. Targets are propulsion gaps, yeah? So always use propulsion gaps as targets, not on the M15, M1, H1. So this is why this indicator is here, look. Propulsion gaps get filled. Yeah, if you've got tons of propulsion gaps, the market's going to come down to them. So these older ones, this is how we use them. So if you got in short there, targeting that, and then it rallied, you would go, all right, I'll get in here, and I'll get in again here, and I'll target this bit now, so you can get out there with a profit. If it continues to go, You can get in with another one and target this propulsion gap, which it came down and tested. Tick out. So entry, 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 exit, profit. Yeah. So right now, that is the big one. That's what I would be targeting on the pound yen, for example. So yeah. But that's if you want to hold them. There's no right or wrong. You get out when you get out. This is the whole purpose of position trading. There's no targets. There's no stops. You get in, you get out. You make money. If you want to hold longer, there is a chance that the profit you could have had may disappear. If you get out after half an ADR, there is a chance it might tank 4 ADR and you miss 3.5 ADR of profit. At the end of the day, our job is to make this green. So if you set, I'm going to get out there, and it comes down to there and bounces, that was $550 and that was $750, and then it bounces, you'll be annoyed. I'd rather just bank some money every time. And if it goes down there, that's fine. I'll wait for the next entry down here and I'll get in the other way. There's always an entry. There's always an opportunity to get into something. So you just got to get out when you get out. As I say, there is no right or wrong. You can back test all of this in the strategy tester. Get the EA, get the market reverse alerts EA, stick it in the strategy tester, test getting out with 1/4 of an ADR, half an ADR, 3/4 of an ADR, 1 ADR, 2 ADR. Test it all and see how many trades you get, how long you're in, what the max drawdown is. You'll find that the ones you wait for those biggies down to here, the ones that go back like that and you get into more drawdown on, it's actually just as profitable to grab half an ADR to 3/4 of an ADR than it is to wait for the 3 ADRs to play out, because they will take weeks. These can take days, sometimes hours. Remember, the market spends 58% of its time within its average daily range. So if you target within the average daily range, your target is going to get hit a lot. If you target 2 ADR down here, look how long it took to do 2 ADR. So that's 2 ADR from where we are right now. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 58% of the time, it's going to move up and down like this. So if I target here, I'm going to be out of this today, tomorrow. If I target down here, I've got to wait 3 to 4 days for hopefully it to get there, if it doesn't meet something along the way that drives it back up. So we are high time frame scalpers, if you like. We're waiting for the opportunities to present themselves on the high time frame, but we don't hang about getting out of the positions. You can't predict it. You don't know whether it's going up, down, or what it's going to do. So if you've got profit, put it in the bank. It's your job. Pay yourself. I don't really have targets. Right, I'll leave it there. Anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in the Telegram group. Back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time for the DAX, for the Frankfurt session. Back for 2:20 tomorrow afternoon for New York. And it's Friday. Ooh. So then, yeah, we obviously got the weekend. So see how we get on with these US dollar moves. We might go into a bit of a squeeze on these USs, but we'll see. We'll see how they go. They don't seem to be that powerful, as ADR is showing. Nothing much is moving particularly fast, is it? So, all right, so have a good day. Anything you need, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.